It's a very famous verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhu just chosen. Om Ajnanatirandasya Jnananandasaraya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manavisham Sthatam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyam Tadati Savadhantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Kapadakanadam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sakijatam Saharanarvanatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Saharanadalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sya Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 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 Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. That's from all of you. All of you are comfortable? Are you crowded? Some of you can sit on the sofa also if you want. You want to sit in the sofa? Yeah, Mataji. This is the first letter to say. Etadhyaturachittanam Matra sparshechhayamuhu Bhavasindhu plavo drashto Paricaryanuvarnanam. All Prabhujis together can recite, please. Etadhyaturachittanam Matra sparshechhayamuhu Bhavasindhu plavo drashto Paricaryanuvarnanam. All Mataji together, please.
Etadhyaturachittanam स्पर्शेक्षया मुहुः भव सिन्धु प्लवदृष्टो हरिचर्यानुवर्णनम्.
Perfect. So let us have etat, this. He, certainly. Atura chittanam, of those whose minds are always full of cares and anxieties. Matra, objects of sense enjoyment. Sparsha, senses. Ichchaya, by desires. Muhuhu, always. Bhavasindhu, the ocean of nescience. Plavaha, boat. Rishtaha, experience. Haricharya, activities of Hari, the personality of Godhead. Anuvarnanam, constant recitation. It is personally experienced by me, like what Narada is saying, that those who are always full of cares and anxieties due to desiring contact of the senses with their objects can cross the ocean of nescience on a most suitable boat, the constant chanting of the transcendental activities of the personality of Godhead. Purport by Srila Prabhupada again. The symptom of a living being is that he cannot remain silent even for some time. He must be doing something, thinking of something or talking about something. Generally, the materialistic men think and discuss about subjects which satisfy their senses. But as these things are exercised under the influence of the external illusory energy, such sensual activities do not actually give them any satisfaction. On the contrary, they become full with cares and anxieties. This is called Maya, or what is not. That which cannot give them satisfaction is accepted as an object for satisfaction. So Narada Muni, by his personal experience, says that satisfaction for such frustrated beings engaged in sense gratification is to chant always the activities of the Lord. The point is that the subject matter only should be changed. No one can check the thinking activities of the living being, nor the feeling, willing, or working processes. But if one wants actual happiness, one must change the subject matter only. Instead of talking of the politics of a dying man, one might discuss the politics administered by the Lord himself. Instead of relishing the activities of the cinema artist, one can turn his attention to the activities of the Lord with his eternal associates like gopis and lakshmis. The Almighty Personality of Godhead, by his causeless mercy, descends to the earth and manifests activities almost on the line of the worldly men, but at the same time extraordinary because he is almighty. He does so for the benefit of all conditioned souls, so that they can turn their attention to transcendence. By doing so, the conditioned souls will gradually be promoted to the transcendental position and easily cross the ocean of nescience, the source of all the miseries. This is stated from personal experience by such an authority as Sri Narada Muni. And we can have the same experience also if we begin to follow in the footsteps of the great sage, the dearmost devotee of the Lord. This is a very, very famous verse, kind of like somewhat like a concluding verse in the Narada and Vyasa Samvad. It gives like the verse which is like a climax verse, we can say, in conclusion. It's very apt because Ramananda is doing exactly this, what this verse says. This verse, it says, Yeta Datura Chittana. This Atura Chittana is in several places explained. In the Gita also, Bhagavatam also. In Gita, one line comes to my mind. Mohat grihitva asadgrahat pravartante ashuchi vratapu. Like the Krishna is telling. Mohat grihitva asatgrahat. Those people who grasp the asat, temporary objects in this world, Why they grasp? Why are they chasing after that? Because moha, he's saying, due to illusion. So illusion means that which is pain-giving, considering it to be pleasurable, or considering the ultimately bliss-producing objects to be pain-giving, or considering dead commodities of this world to be very special and divine and extraordinary, or considering the divine object to be ordinary. So that is actually moha. Like for example, a man comes to temple and he thinks the deity is like a doll. He considers it to be just a beautiful doll, nothing more than that. On the contrary, such a person is mad after the beauty of a woman. We have seen in this world, which is actually a object which will eventually change, eventually, just like a beautiful flower in the morning gets dried up flower in the evening. Similarly, the beauty of a woman or handsomeness of a man is a short-lived phenomenon in this world. One who is mad after this, but he doesn't know the value of a deity, because the more the living entities are charmed by the material flavors, they will not be able to understand the transcendental flavors. There's one verse in the Vishnu Purana, Vishayavishta Chittanam Vishnu Raveshana Bhavet, it says. So, due to the Vishayavishta Chitta, once Vishnu Avesh does not arise. So, just like when you sprinkle water in the firewood, it doesn't give out fire, it gives out smoke. And that is why the conditioned souls suffer in this world. You will see, I'll just show one thing. See, 5 flaws of material enjoyment are there. You can see? Yeah. See, what is the problem in material enjoyment? Arjan dosh is the first. Arjan is to accumulate. In this world, to accumulate, one has to work very hard. Prabhupada explains the power, Parishram, and fame. Sometimes when donkey works hard, there's a fame in the mouth. The froth, froth, isn't it? And then bandhan, he says, then bhaya, and then mrityu. So it's called pavarga. And this is a very frequently used word in the scriptures. There is a mrityu samsara vartmani or apavarga vartmani. Apavarga vartmani is an upward vector. Mrityu samsara vartmani is downward vector. Like he says, aprapta mam nivartante mrityu samsara vartmani. That is pavarga. And apavarga vartmani is satam prasanam mama virya samvido bhavanti kritka narasayana kata tajjoshanat ashu apavarga vartmani. Apavarga means you cancel this pa for babama varga, you go up, back home, back to body. So coming in the association of devotees, glorifying Krishna's pastimes and remembering the qualities of the Lord very fondly, getting touched by that. Just like Vidura asked a question to Uddhava, how is Krishna? And Uddhava immediately, became silent for a few moments and tears sprang from his eyes. And then Prabhupada says, for a few moments he couldn't speak. And then Uddhava opened his mouth and he began speaking the pastimes of Krishna. So that time Prabhupada writes there the purport, Uddhava came down from the Vaikuntha, he says. Although he was physically on the earth only, isn't it? But what is the meaning of coming down from Vaikuntha? His consciousness was posted in Vaikuntha. When he brought himself to the external consciousness and then he spoke. So here is an example of somebody who is in the earth but not of the earth. He is untouched like a lotus surrounded by muddy pool of water. The lotus is untouched by the mud around it. Like that, Uddhava kept himself absorbed in Lord's pastimes, heartily. So that is apavarga vartmani, which means he is already heading towards Vaikuntha in their consciousness. So even as a small child, Parikshit or Uddhava, they were all worshipping Krishna dolls and offering bhoga to him and dressing him and all that. So, on the other hand, the material accumulation, there are 5 P's that pinches. What are the 5 P's? Penny, pleasure, people, position, possessions. In this world. Penny, penny, money, 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 honey. Correct, no? People say like that. So now what is the problem with money? In Bhagavatam it is said, money is such a thing. Why is it compared to honey? Money either will leave you or you will leave the money. It is not going to be with us always. One boy from Pune, he went to Durban. One day night he was working with the laptop at 11 o'clock, he was sitting near the window. And from the window, two hands came up without gloves. And that fellow was wearing a mask kind of thing, only eyes were visible, he was saying like this. Like a terrorist kind of thing. And then he was saying like this, with a gun. What do you think? How many of you will give back your laptop to him? Because both hands came. How many of you will give away the laptop? Only half of them. See, the boy thought if I don't give him, he will shoot and then he'll take the laptop. Or if I give him, he will take it and go away, correct? No? So he gave it away, the hands went out. He closed the window after that. So this boy was telling, 5 years he worked hard to save money for buying the laptop. It was a new laptop, just a week he had used it. There's a lot of thievery in that. So here's the example of how money left him. Or if somebody saves money very carefully, intelligently, cleverly, not losing the money, at the time of death, then he leaves the money. Correct, no? So money leaves us or we leave the money. Nobody is going to enjoy their money, what they accumulate in this world. They leave behind and go, correct, no? So, but to accumulate the money, one has to work very hard. Arjan dosh. Hard work one has to do. And then, secondly, himsa dosh, violence towards others. There's a rat race and competition. Prabhupada writes in one of the purports in Bhagavatam, when the honeybees sometimes take a holiday and they stay in the honeycomb only, and they say, let's drink a little honey today. But while drinking honey, the honeybees are afraid that the other honeybee will bring more than me. So while drinking, like that they sting also. Other honeybees sting. So Prabhupada is saying the materialists are like this in this world. They want to progress in the corporate ladder of success, but they will also sting other people by pulling others' legs. So that's the violence towards others. For one to make progress, like when I was in IIT, one student had hid a book from the library. And the librarian was searching like anything, but what this fellow did, instead of keeping books like this, he kept like this. And later on it was found out, and the librarian scolded him, why you did this? He said, I'm afraid my friend will see the book. He sees this book, he will get ahead of me. Like that. So, that's himsa dosh, you see. And then bhoga dosh. When one, of course, himsa dosh is not only competition, but also hatred also for other living beings. And then the bhoga dosh is enjoying propensity. So, when people do bhog in this world, it leads to rog. When rog comes, they go for yoga. And then when they do yoga and get a little healthy, again they want to come back to bhog again. So it's a triangle. So that leads to misery. Bhog se rog hota hai. Then the fourth one is rakshan dosh, you see, protection. There is always a fear. First of all, there is a craving to attain something, and then when you attain it, one is proud that I attained it. And at the same time, there is fear that somebody will take it away. That fear comes when you have to protect something. Like somebody does something and they want to tell others so that I have done something which others will be impressed with. But then when you tell others, there is a fear that will be taken away. There was one prince, I don't know which country it was, but he brought many kings to show what he has done, what kind of palace he has built and how much diamonds and jewelry he has accumulated. So one of the fellows who came to see all that later on hatched a plot to finish this fellow and take away everything. Like that. So in this way, there is a simultaneous desire in living entity to impress other living entities by showing off, at the same time fearing that should not be taken away. Correct, no? Both kinds of fear. And then kshaya dosh, you see. All the material commodities are all perishable and changeable, which is the lamentation, greatest lamentation for the living entity. It doesn't remain. Like the money is gradually consumed. Similarly, the bodily beauty goes away gradually. Strength diminishes. Old age comes. So these are the 5 flaws of material enjoyment. So due to this, one is not able, due to this one is not able to, like 18.38, he says, Vishayendriya samyogat yadadagre amritopamam pariname vishamiva tatsukam raja samsmritam, he says. So now, one verse I told you, moha grihitva asadgraha, that's one line I told you. Another line that talks about the mental enjoyment is, Asajja manasya duranta chintaya. This is coming in the Muchukunda Raja's section. Asajja means attached. Asajja manasya duranta chintaya. Duranta means unlimited suffering one gets when one is attached to a material object. Like all these things are showing us how suffering comes in this world. So, like for example, a man was coming out of a shopping mall, Suddenly he saw, yesterday he had purchased a Mercedes Benz and they had parked it just outside the shop. And he saw a cork ball coming flying and hitting the, glass. And the glass broke in front of him. And as the glass broke, his heart also broke. Almost he was about to get a heart attack seeing that. And he became angry on all the boys who were playing cricket. He wanted to catch them and beat them up. So as he came down the steps running, how can it be rectified? Then he thought there were 2 cars of the same color, brown color. His car was standing here and another car had come. As soon as he saw his car is safe, immediately there's a smile on his face. See what kind of turmoil of emotions we can see. First he was shattered, now he was smiling now. So this is the meaning of asajja manasya. When we are very strongly attached to the objects of this world. See, here is the main point. Because the objects of the world are changing, they're changeable and perishable, and they're also relative. Relative means what? You will see one mobile you got, you are not satisfied with it because one more model comes with 2 more features. Correct, no? Isn't it? Some better looks, better facility, better everything. You take a car, you take a mobile, all the objects of the world. You always go for one thing and then you want a better thing and a more better thing, like that. So it's relative. They all are changeable and perishable. And thirdly, they have dualities. Like, I once asked a question, what is better to have, to rented house or own house? And different people raised hand for different things. But which one has problem, rented house or own house? Both will have their own problems. Both will have their advantages. That's the meaning of duality, correct, no? Duality means same thing, with any commodity. So, duality means the pleasure, pain, honor, dishonor. Krishna says, Jidatmana, Prashantatma, Paramatma, Samahita, Shitoshan, Sukha, Dukkesha, Tatamana, Apamana, Yoga. He says, those 6 items he's saying. Jadabrata went through all the 6. Like his brothers cheated him and gave him burnt rice. And put him as a scarecrow in the field. These are all like, and his father gave him abundant affection and tried to put him in the Gurukula and train him. So the opposite behavior. It's like Shitoshna, correct, no? Like for example, in winter season you like Ushnatvam. In summer season you like Shiratvam, correct, no? Similarly, when you're lying in the bed, you want Mridutvam. You don't want Katinatvam, correct, no? So in this way, but these 2 things are there in this world which cause unpleasantness or pleasantness. You want, like in the trains, we have berth in India which are wooden. There is no cushion in that. Now they started putting cushion now. Because you want more mridutvam instead of katinatvam, correct, no? In those days it was wooden plank, simple. People are more austere. Now they are not so austere, so put a cushion now. Isn't it? So, in the same manner, then when he went to the forest, that was when Durga Devi's, the dacoits, they brought him and they put chandan, kumkum, and they put silk clothes on his body, they put a garland, they gave a big plate of food, all this is sukham. And then they took a chopper to cut his neck, that is dukha they gave. Later on, King Rahavana on the palanquin top, he insulted him very badly. And then later on when he understood his identity, he got down from the palanquin and then fell at his feet and made him his guru. Correct, no? So that is Manapamana. So he went through all the 6. In all the 6 he was having that equipoised nature. Correct, no? because he had no expectations from the material world. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, humility, definition, he says, no expectation from anybody. That is humility, he says. Actually, no, you can never be in trouble if you have this consciousness. Because our problem comes because of expectations from different living entities. And the expectations reduce or increases? It keeps on increasing endlessly. That causes us frustration. So, that's why he's saying, asajjamanasya duranta chintaya. He says. And Prahlad Maharaj tells his father also, sada samudvigna dhyam asat graha. There also he's saying asat graha. See, asat, sat, two things, temporary, permanent. So like right now, all of you are sitting in a, say, mat now. Somebody comes and pulls it from behind. Will you be comfortable? And they tell you, no, please get up. Why are you pulling it? No, we want to give you a cushion. Oh, you are so nice, you want to put a good one. So you get up, they come and put a nice thick cushion like this, they put for you. Then you sit, within 10 minutes they come and say, like it happened in ISKCON temple I was watching. They put a cushion, everybody started sitting in cushion, they said, again they started pulling cushion. That's why, put some life numbers up. They wanted it in the office. So they said, again we will put back the old one. So those devotees said, we don't want the old one, new one. We want to sit on the floor. Why you want to sit on the floor?
Cannot pull it.
That means we all want a permanent position or a changing position. Then you have to hold on to permanent things. That's the whole idea. If you want a permanent position, you have to hold on to what are permanent things? The soul and Krishna and the relationship. That is why here there's a talk about Nardaman is telling that, when one is matra sparsha ichchaya muhu, he's saying, matra sparsha. Krishna says, no, matra sparshastu. He says, So in this world, as soon as the senses come in contact with the objects, for each, for the eyes, for the ears, for the nose, for the tongue and skin. So those are going to produce a certain type of pleasure or pain or honor or dishonor. And one should not too much worry about it. One should try to adjust and go on with those situations and focus on the ultimate goal of life. Because if you are going to take this pleasure and pain, honor and dishonor too seriously, we are going to be stuck in this world. That is why you will find great saintly persons. There is a very famous verse, Tiraskrita, Vipralabda, Shakta, Kshipta, Hata Api, Nasikat Pratikurvanti, Tadbhakta, Prabhu. There is one verse like this. So, like for example, Tiraskrita, if you are disrespected, Tiraskrita, Vipralabda, somebody is cheating you. How many have become very angry if somebody cheats you? Correct, no? Isn't it? So, of course, we shouldn't cheat anybody, we should not get cheated also. Both things. Like I was in Jagannathpuri, I saw one fellow was selling this Dashavatara, And to look like a cement color, it was looking like a stone type of thing. I said, wonderful, how much it is? He said, it's 200 rupees. I said, it's worth buying. I told the devotees, it's good to keep one Dashavatara, very nice this thing. And another boy came and said, if you want, I can give you 150, he said. I said, wow, wonderful. Then I gave this back to him and I was about to take it. Then another boy came around, he saw me buying this, he said, I can give you 100, he said. I was amazed, half the price he is giving. And then one devotee was asking, Prabhuji, are you coming? He asked me. I said, I'm just going to buy this. He said, I also bought it in 50 rupees. He said. That was a bigger shock to me. He said that this is all mold, plastic mold, correct, no? It comes in the machine, they make it in the machine. Now I thought maybe it can come down below 50 also, I thought. Of course, 50 was the last price when we got that. What I am saying, in this world you have to be very careful. People may cheat us, correct? No, we don't want to be cheated. No? So, Tiraskrita, Pralabda, Shakta means if somebody is cursing us, people generally curse back if somebody curses, isn't it? Kripta, what is Kripta?
Be neglected.
Neglected. And what is Tiraskrita? First one.
So Tiraskrita, Vipralabda, Shakta, Shipta, Hata Api. So Tiraskrita, first of all, to avoid.
Avoid.
Criticize.
Criticize. Tiraskrita is criticize.
To avoid.
And then Kripta is...
to neglect.
Neglect, yeah, right. And Hata Api means to kill. So who tried to kill? Durasana tried to kill Ambarish, isn't it? And Chitta is neglect. You can hear pastimes. There are many pastimes. One is Shukadeva Goswami was told by his father to go to Janaka Raja, There, when he went to the palace, guards were told not to allow him inside. He was told to sit outside. 3 days he sat in the cold winter, and he just sat in meditation completely. After third day, they brought an umbrella, the royal umbrella, and with all the Tomataka, all those things, and all the Sinavadhyam and everything, welcome there, royal welcome. He was given, and then flowers were showered, and so many people came to welcome him, and they were putting fans and everything and took him inside. So in this way, he was given dishonor first. Later on, honor. Made no difference to him. So now, in the same manner, the other ones, the Tiraskrita, you can see how Lord Shiva was treated by Daksha Prajapati, correct? No? You can see that, how he, although he is a very exalted personality, he was treated like this. So,
I'm also remembering Narayana Parasarve.
Narayana Parasarve, Nakutaschana Vibhyati, Svarga Apavarga Narakeshwa. So they are put in hell or heaven or anywhere. A devotee of the Lord is very tolerant, he says. So the idea is, why the devotee is tolerant, we should know. That is explained in the next verse. Yam hina vyatiyanti ete purusham purusharshava samadukka sukam dhiram somritatva. You can attain amritatvam, which means if you tolerate these 6 urges, 6 type of dualities, then the fruit you are going to get is focus in spiritual life. And by that focus you are going to attain Krishna. How wonderful it is. Imagine if there is a hole in the ceiling and you have got a ladder lying here, and there's a fire coming from all four directions. You find out that if I pick up the ladder and put it here, I can get out of this place. I can escape. So when you are trying to climb up the ladder, some people are teasing you, laughing at you, ridiculing you. Somebody is speaking some bad words to you. So how many of you think about it for a moment? You will look at them, but you will not pay any heed to them, but you will climb up and get out of this place. How many of you will do that? Right? How many of you will get down, get back on the staircase and catch them by the collar and give a good slap? What kind of word?
And then climb up.
But by the time you do that, imagine somebody from the top has taken out the ladder. Correct? So, think about it. So, out of these 2 things, most living entities do which one? Most living entities, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, they try to adjust with the dualities and prolong their existence. What they try to do?
Adjust with the dualities.
See, there are 3 things you can do. Either you can protest against the dualities, or you can adjust to the dualities, or you adjust to the dualities and focus on the Supreme Lord. Out of the 3, which one we should do? But even the pious people, they do the second thing. They adjust, and if, like Prabhupada says, the story of the Prahari Dhananjay, you know that? If anybody is sitting here as Dhananjay, please don't misunderstand me. It's not about you. If any Dhananjay is around, we don't know. But it's about Dhananjay. Prabhupada tells the story. See, one father had 10 daughters, and he got them all married, and they all went to different places. So there was a festival, which was a 3-day festival. Then all the daughters were called, and they came with the husbands also. They all came. So all of them stayed 3-day festival, and then 4th day, only 5 of them returned. Other 5 families were staying. And then some of them stayed for 3-4 more days. And then, of course, this man had 10 daughters and 1 son here. So he called his son and said, "Beta, festival is over 3 days, but we are finding that these people are staying for another 3-4 more days they are staying. What's to be done?" The son said, "See, you are giving very opulent prasad. If you cut down sweet, these fellows will go away." So he cut down the sweet. Out of the 4-5 of them were staying, 2 left. Then others were staying some more days. And then the son said, "You just cut the sabji, only rice dal." Then he gave other 2 guys left, only 1 fellow stayed. And that 1 fellow was staying for 15 days, he was not leaving. Then the son told the father, "Don't worry, tomorrow morning he will also leave." So what he did early morning when the fellow was sleeping, he took a stick and gave him a good beating. Then the brother ran away from the room to another room so that he will not be seen. So now that fellow, when he got the beating, he jumped up and ran. So Prabhupada tells the story with a purpose. What he says, in this story, the son-in-laws who came to their in-laws' house, who came, they are like the jivas who have come to this material existence. They have come here. That means they have left the spiritual world and come here. Correct, no? They are not, they are here in this world. And now Maya Devi is taking a Trishul and telling them, get out. Correct, no? Trishul represents Adhyatmika, Adhibhautika, Adhidevi. That is the indication that too much cold, too much heat, correct, no? Sometimes snow, no? So many kinds of problems, correct, no? But the living ladies say, no problem, we'll adjust and stay here. Like that fellow. His name was Dhananjay, that fellow. So Prahar, when he got Prahar, then only he left, he's saying. So Prabhupada's point is what? Don't try to prolong your existence in this world by making material adjustments. That is the very important part of the philosophy. But it is not wrong to make material adjustments if your plan is to pack up and go back to Godhead. Actually, adjusting is good provided the end goal is not forgotten. But adjusting is condemned if one has a plan to continue to stay after adjusting. Correct? On the other hand, protesting against the dualities will increase your miseries. Like Brahma told the Prithu, if you are going to be adamant about doing the 100th sacrifice, you will enter into the darkest region of ignorance. He gave a warning because there are certain inevitable things in this world. Then you cannot. Actually, people sometimes develop cancer. Doctors say that who develops cancer? One who has an adamant desire to achieve something they are unable to achieve. They sometimes get a stroke, or they can get cancer. This kind of terrible disease because what is in the mind can go to the body. So one has to be very careful not to hold on adamantly to something which is an impossibility. Inevitable desires we should not hold on to it. Because along with that, we will also have to suffer. They have said. So, the Shastras abound with examples of attached philosophy. Hiranyakashipu was respected by all living entities except one 5-year-old tender child. Who is that? And he was attached to wiping him out. He thought that one fellow is not obedient, I will finish him. Just like this Katmal, this what do you call it? This bed bug, You try to eradicate it, it multiplies. You've seen that in the bed of it, you will see that. So he tried to wipe out this wiping out business. Many people tried and they got into bigger and bigger trouble. Hiranyakashipu is one of them. Janamejaya, and then Dhruva Maharaj, like that. You find, isn't it? So then they enter into ignorance and it creates more trouble like that. So if you ask anybody, are you happy in your life? You say, I am happy, but that one person. Everybody has somebody. And don't try to wipe that person. You isolate yourself from that person. You go away from that person. Then, Suruchi, as soon as she spoke harshly to Dhruva ran away from that. That's the best thing Dhruva did. Because Suruchi was bringing worst out of Dhruva. But Suniti brought best out of her. So we need to associate with people who can bring best behavior out of us. Like for example, all of you see yourself, when you come close to somebody and they throw some slang at you or harsh words at you, and you also throw harsh words. Like that. You can see that in some people. On the other hand, you see some people as soon as come. They are very friendly. You have seen that? Respect, love, affection, trust. You can see that. That means different people bring out different things out of the same person. Dhruva is the same person. But one person brought worst out of him. Another person brought. So you want the best version of yourself to come out or the worst version of yourself? Yeah. So get associated with such people. So in this way, Narada Muni is talking about the Matra Sparsha. And another second line is Haricharyana Varnana. It's very important to fill our lives with Lord Hari's discussions. Here you see Sripad Ramanujacharya, what he says. I made this previously, magnanimous qualities of the magnetic personality. So, our Uddhava Gita, Uddhava tells one beautiful verse, why Krishna is the worthy master to take shelter. Tasmat bhavantam anavadyam anantaparam sarvagyam ishwaram akunta vikunta dishnyam nirvinna dhiragamuhe vijnadhi tatto narayanam narasakam sharanam prapadye. In this verse, very beautiful purport it is. He's saying Krishna is anavadyam. Anavadyam means spotlessly pure, like the sun. The sun absorbs urine but doesn't get contaminated itself. And it cleanses the place also. That's amazing quality of the sun. So Krishna is a spotless personality. Sometimes in this world, there was one man who was exposing all the politicians in Maharashtra. He was showing how they are fraud and everything, and many people appreciated him. He became a very famous YouTuber, and he was saying how, look this fellow, look at that fellow, everybody. Finally, when he became a politician, then somebody found he was also corrupt. Because therefore it is said morality is absence of opportunity. It is said. And that came to be proven in his case. He was moral as long as others were holding post and they were looting. When he came to post, he also looted. So in this way, in this world, sometimes you find a person who goes on for a while, then when you find that he has a character flaw, then people immediately lose respect for such a person, isn't it? Whereas Krishna is such a personality who is spotlessly pure, like that he says. Like Prabhupada says about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, from the beginning to end, nobody can point fingers at him. There's not even an iota of any blemish in him, like that. So, the meaning of the word Sammam Bonam means all good. Nothing bad can come out of him. For example, there is one word in Sanskrit called Hatha Ari Gati Dayaka. When Hatha means kill, Ari means enemy, Gati means Param Gati. Dayaka means one who can give you the Param Gati by killing. Is there anybody who can kill somebody and do good? Yes, only Krishna can do that. Like Krishna killed Putana, he gave her Avapa Jananim Gati. He gave her that kind of Gati. Similarly, Krishna entered the mouth of Aghasura and blocked his throat. And then he could not breathe, and then the two eyes popped out and it came out, Atma. And then when he went to spiritual world, he gave him Swarupa Siddhi. He gave him Swarupa Siddhi to him. So even though they were demons, correct? So if Krishna's killing can award such a great gati, what to speak of somebody who is embraced by Krishna? Think about it. Similarly, in our Pune temple, there was one ex-chief minister's wife who came to Pune temple. She was almost 67, 68 years old. So all people came and told me that probably she wanted to go for a tour, can you go? So I took her for a tour. And she said she has been a principal of a school for 28 years. So she's in the educational line. But when she came to temple, she looked at Krishna and said, "Oh, aap log Krishna ki puja karte hain. You worship Krishna," she was telling. I asked her, "Madam, any problem? You have any So she said, "I have a problem," she said. I said, "What the problem?" She said, "ये तो भगवान है, वो युद्ध को रोक सकते थे ना, उन्होंने रोका क्यों नहीं? इसलिए हमको कृष्ण पसंद नापसंद है." She said. Then I said, "But you don't know? Krishna went as a peace messenger, Shanti Dut." "Oh, I know it," she said. "You don't know that Duryodhana didn't even agree to give 5 villages." She said, "Not only 5 villages. He said, I can't give even what can be contained in tip of a needle." She was knowing that also. I said, "So you know it. Therefore the war was inevitable," I told her. She said, No. That is not agreeable," she said. Then what? She said, already Pandavas have 12 plus 1, 13 years experience living in forest. Krishna would have told, and they will agree also, Pandavas were very friendly with Krishna. He would have told them, better you guys go back to forest, so that let Duryodhana rule, If Bechara is attached to kingdom, let him rule the world and they can go back to forest. Then I told her, "Madam, in Gita also, beginning, Arjuna argued that I don't want to fight the battle, correct, no? They were ready to go to forest. But Krishna's argument was what? Even when the 5 husbands are sitting in the Raj Mahal, in the Asat Sabha, Draupadi was brought to be disrobed in the public. And who is behind that? Duryodhana. Correct, no? You can imagine what kind of mean-minded fellow he is. No? That Kuru elders are sitting there, 5 husbands are sitting there, and the two to bring such a queen, Draupadi, in the public and insult her. Then Jata Raja, then all the public will also imitate such a foolish king and the whole world will go to hell. So Krishna said, on the contrary, when the war happens, even if many men die in the battle, their widows will be taken care of by Yudhishthira Maharaj like his own mother. When he rules the world. Therefore, Lord Krishna said, we should make Yudhishthira the king. He's ideal king, ideal person to be the king. So I told her, she said, ठीक है आप जो बोल रहे हैं वो भी ठीक है फिर हर मेन पॉइंट वाज इतने लोगों को मारना नहीं करो क्या भगवान को ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए then I was wondering how to convince her then I took one verse and showed her तथैव चान्ये नरलोकवीरा य आगवे कृष्णमुखारविन्दं नेत्रै पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामं पार्थास्त्रपूता Padama Purasya, I showed her that verse. This verse says, in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, all the warriors were looking at Krishna. And seeing the beauty of Krishna, they became spiritually absorbed. At that time, when Krishna told Arjuna, pick up your bow and arrow, and you hit the enemies. When the arrow would pierce the chest of the enemy, immediately it will suck their sinful reactions. Because the arrows were ordered by whom? Krishna. That's why it's called Partha Astra Puta. It said Puta means purified and Putana means not purified. That's why we say Putana. So Partha Astra Puta, they became purified as soon as the arrow touched. How? Just like if the tawa is very hot, you sprinkle water. It just, you've seen that it happens like this. Like that it sucked out the sinful reactions. When the arrow, because it was ordered by Krishna. And they were also looking at Krishna. That way, there's not only sinful reactions were eradicated, but also they were getting prepared to attain the Sadgati. Correct? Those who enviously looked at Krishna, they went to Brahma Jyoti. Those who reverentially looked at Krishna, they went to Vaikuntha. Those who lovingly looked at Krishna, they went to Goloka. So all of them attained Parthastra Puta Padam Apurasya. It says. So that is one verse I showed her. Another verse I showed her. Hataha Gataha Swarupam. That is one verse. Hataha, Bhishma Ikam, Vijay Sakhe Atapotre, the concept thing. So that verse, last line says that Hataha Gataha. When she saw these 2 verses, her eyes became dilated. She was amazed. Ye kya kitab hai? I said, this is Bhagavatam. I said, Bhagavatam. She said, I only know Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata. She said, this is wonderful. Now I would like to take a set of Bhagavatam. So, and then I told her that every warrior in the battle attains the Paramparam. She said, I am so relieved hearing this. I thought so much murder and killing has happened, that she was telling. So, after she went, I was just thinking in my mind that just see what a personality Krishna is. Not just 1 or 2 he delivered millions. By his mere presence. So one should know his the platform of Krishna's purity and his exalted position. Similarly, he is saying, Uddhava is saying, in this world, Anavadyam, Ananta Param, 2 words he is using. Ananta means Krishna's jurisdiction extends everywhere. But Yamaraja's jurisdiction extends only on the sinful living entities. Like our, say, Prime Minister of India, his jurisdiction is only India. And Trump, his jurisdiction is United States. Correct, no? Everybody has a jurisdiction. But Krishna's jurisdiction? Everywhere. He can go to, actually when Sandipani Muni was approached by Krishna Balaram after 64 days, Krishna was about to leave. He said, Guruji, please tell me what Dakshina can we give you? He thought, wait a minute, you both are Supreme Personality of Godhead, I should not ask that you better consult my wife. So he consulted his wife. Wife said, you can't ask some chota mota things, you should ask something very big. So she thought and said, you ask for the dead sell back. Like that she said. And when they asked, he said, okay, I can do that. So he went to Yamaloka and blew the shank, and then Yamaraj came and offered obeisances. He was very happy to see the Lord. He welcomed the Lord. And then Krishna asked, he said, Guru Putra Vihanitam Nija Karma Nibandhanam. He said, by his own some bad karma of the past, my Guru's son has landed in your Yamaloka. Anayasva Maharaj, he said, bring him here, he said. Then what do you think Yamaraj must have asked? Because his sinful reactions have not been punished yet. But then Krishna told them what to do. You bring the boy here, Mat Shasana Puraskrita. I write his sinful account in my account, he said. Like he says, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo. He just cancelled his sinful account and brought the boy back and handed him over to parents. So Krishna not only says Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo, he does it also. You can see it. Practically he did it like that. Similarly, once Nanda Baba was stolen by Varunaloka somebody, and then Krishna went and brought Nanda Baba from them. Once, one Brahmana's children were dying one by one. So 3 children died and the Brahmana was yelling and shouting, what kind of Kshatriyas, useless, impotent fellows, and he was shouting. Arjuna was Kshatriya, he was a little insulted. Wait a minute, why are you insulting Kshatriyas? I am here, don't fear. I will take a bow and arrow and go around the maternity ward, round and round. Your 4th child will not die. But then 4th child died. Again the Brahmana came and said, क्या बड़ा बड़ा बात किया तुमने? क्या किया तुमने? बचाया नहीं बच्चे को? Then Arjuna felt very unhappy. He was about to enter the fire. And then Krishna said, Arjuna, what is this new plan, entering fire? And then Arjuna said, this has happened, what to do? I have no other, alternative. Krishna said, what is this? Hum hai na? Humko pucha nahi? You didn't ask me? Arjuna said, but what to do? The children are dying one by one. Krishna said, board the chariot. Straight he took him, crossing the shell of the universe and Brahma Jyoti and there Mahavishnu Loka. And Mahavishnu had kept his 4 babies, 4 kids with him. And Krishna Arjuna went, Mahavishnu praised Krishna and said, for your darshan only I was keeping this children. I know nobody else can come here other than you. And then Krishna told Arjuna, Mat darshanartam te bala. He said, for my darshan, this Mahavishnu has stolen these children, just see. He said, and then he brought the children back and gave to Brahma. Which means Krishna has no jurisdiction. That's the whole point. Anywhere, which means we should, Uddhava says, you should take shelter of that person who has no jurisdiction, no limitation. And not only that, Anantapara means also time also, not only space. Like imagine you are serving in an IT company, 5 years you served, and the 5th year end you thought you were going to be made a team leader. Suddenly your boss gets transferred to another branch. Or he leaves this company and goes to another company. But this will not happen with Krishna, because birth after birth he keeps track of your devotion service, what you have performed for him. So he is not going to, he is not a changing master. He is a permanent master. Another thing Uddhava says is Sarvajñam, he says. It really happens in this world. You are working in a company, so many years you served faithfully, late night and everything. Now when the promotion is about to come, there is another competition for you. He wants promotion. So what he does, he goes to your boss. Something he says about you. He fills the ears of the boss. And then you go to boss looks at you very angrily, as if you have done something wrong. You are an innocent person. You wonder, what did I do? And then the promotion comes not to you, but to the other person. And you have been cheated. And boss also has been cheated. Directly. Now you don't know how to rectify it. Later on you go and explain to boss. Boss says, I'm sorry, I was not aware of this. That fellow told me, so I gave him promotion. I couldn't give you, you could have clarified me before about this, he says, correct, no? Because he is not Sarvajñam, that's the problem. Plus Krishna is Sarvajñam. Sarvajñam means all-knowing. If somebody goes to tell Krishna, he'll give a slap to him. You are telling about that fellow? I know who is he. See, if you know this fact very well, you will never be disturbed, especially when people are talking about you something which is not true about you. How many of you feel extreme pain when something is being floated about you which is not true? Right now we all feel that, correct? No? And he cries silently. That's the biggest problem. But we should know that there is a person above, Krishna, who is Sarvajnam, is all-knowing. Even if we are misunderstood, at the cost of being misunderstood, some people are floating and then they are floating to others and the others are floating further. Sometimes our bad karma of the past comes in this way. It comes. So why something happened, we don't know. One time, Jyotirdandak Maharaj had gone to a preaching center in those days. And then Maharaj went to the washroom and came out and said, "This washroom is so clean. It looks like a drawing room or any room. Spick and span." Maharaj appreciated. And when he came out, there were some 3-4 ladies standing there. They said, "Thank you, Maharaj," they were saying. And the men who had actually cleaned the room, they got very annoyed. They said, "We cleansed the washroom yesterday, and this Matas is saying thank you." By they saying thank you, Maharaj must have thought that
They clean.
like this fellow went and complained to the local leader. And they told the local, "Please, Prabhuji, Maharaj ko bolte na, please tell Maharaj that we did it, please introduce us." Leader said, "Prabhuji, these are all small things. Why you tell Maharaj? Maharaj is very exalted, he will know all these things. Super Soul will tell him, no, all that is." But they were not convinced. Later on, because those guys were serving prasad. So Maharaj went and touched the buckets and saw that it is hot prasad. He checked all of them. And then Maharaj took one plate and looked at his face, and face was seen clearly. Maharaj said, "Today is a Monday. How these plates are so clean? Yesterday you guys must have had the Sunday feast, right? No? A lot of oil and everything must have been there. These plates are so spick and span, neatly clean. Very nice," he said. And the Prabhuji smiled and said, "Thank you, Maharaj." And the Mataji became alive. Because Mataji had cleaned the Sunday feast plate. And one Mataji was really, really angry like anything. She told the leader Mataji, "You have to take all of us to Maharaj and say that we only wash the plate." So, and then the meanwhile lecture started. We all started the lecture. At the end of the lecture, this Mataji couldn't restrain herself. She took the mic and asked, "Maharaj, sometimes we do a service, somebody else takes the credit. What should we do?" Like that. And Maharaj very, very anayasli said, very coolly said, "Maybe you might have taken the credit of somebody in previous life." Like that Maharaj said. So, actually Maharaj was not aware of both. But Maharaj, because Krishna and Lord of the heart makes him speak, isn't it? So he said, "You might have," and it was exactly true. The ladies had taken the credit for the washing of the bathroom. He said, "Thank you, Maharaj." And therefore, now Krishna immediately turned over the credit to the Prabhujis. And they were standing in the plate. And they also didn't do the... So how things come in the next life? See, our plus minus is already fixed there. The Brahmaliti, we call it, at the time of birth. Whatever. So that will come in varieties of forms, pressure and pain will come. So, when it is coming in our life, bad patch of our life, sometimes, being insulted for something which you didn't do at all. You have the right to clarify. We should clarify, surely. But after clarifying also some people don't agree. You have seen that? That is very painful. What more can I do? So you cannot do anything more you want to do, but you can't do. Then when your hands and legs are tied, we feel great pain like that. That's why he says Sarvajnam. Lord is Sarvajnam, means all-knowing. Because he is all-knowing, and ultimately we are accountable only to him. He is our ultimate master. So one should leave it to him. Sarvajnam. Ishvara, he is supreme controller. There is nobody equal to him or above him. He is Asamardva. So in this way he is glorifying him. He is worthy master. See, Krishna is the best leader. He is a master strategist and tactful crisis management leader, you see. According to the situation, how he handled that Pandava army. He is the greatest teacher. He answers 574 questions in the battle of the Kurukshetra over 18 counseling sessions. What are they? 18 chapters, isn't it? He answered all Arjuna's questions. And then Uddhav Gita is even more bigger, 25 chapters in the Bhagavatam. When Arjuna was in emotional trauma and all that. He is the best disciple of Sandipani Muni. See, Krishna, how wonderful Lord is, he enjoys teaching also. Huh? Like, some you will see that there is a kind of, there is an inexplicable joy that comes from sharing the knowledge with somebody who is inquisitive, correct? No? Like one time, one camp they had arranged there, and almost 40 boys are supposed to come. Suddenly the college announced some holidays. So all the boys went away. They said we cannot come. But I had gone there. So only 2 boys were there. They didn't go home. So they told Prabhuji, you have cancelled the camp. I said, no, but I can do the camp. I said, I can give class. So 2 boys are there. I said, but those 2 are so inquisitive, so powerful fellows they were. So I sat with them 3-4 hours. So the organizer was telling Prabhuji, why did you waste time with these 2 guys? I said, hey, these 2 are going to be, like Prabhupada said, no, Ivan in Russia, he became Ananta Shakti Das. Prabhupada said he's a seed of, Krishna conscious movement in Russia. He said it happened to be true. It happened like that. Prabhupada spent 10 days with one devotee who became a great teacher. And in Dashashmedha Gata.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spent time with whom? Rupa Goswami. Sanatana Goswami, 3 months. When any of you preachers here give a 3 months lecture to one person, Mahaprabhu gave. Because Mahaprabhu is always very special in all this. Right? No? So, Krishna also likes to teach, as Chaitanya is teaching, as Krishna is teaching to Arjuna. Correct? No? Similarly, Rishabhadev is teaching to his 100 sons. Kapila is giving Kapila Shiksha to Mother Devhuti. And Hamsa Avatara is giving to Brahma and Chatush Kumaras. And Vishnu is giving to Brahma. So a lot of examples we can say. Lord likes to teach. But Lord not only likes to teach his devotees, he tells the devotee, you become a guru and I will learn teaching from you. Here you see in the picture, Krishna Balarama sitting and making his own devotee teacher. See, why you like to make your own devotee teacher, if you ask? Because there is a charm, the Lord feels charmed by devotees' qualities. You like to learn from somebody whom you like very much, isn't it? Like children like to learn from mother or father, sitting with them. Like that, the Lord also enjoys learning from his own devotees. Like the Lord became the son of Rishabhadev, Lord became Rishabha to Mary Devi and Navi, correct? No? Lord becomes a child and enjoys parental association with his devotees. Here, Lord is enjoying the guru-disciple relationship. He's enjoying with his own devotee. Like, when Vasishtha was given those 4-5-year-old kids, Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Shatrugna, he took them to his hut. He put them in 4 elevated seats and he closed the door and he circumambulated 3 times and he offered obeisances and told Ram, my dear Lord, what is this the drama you are doing? You will become a disciple and I have to teach you. The Lord Ram said, hey, this is your duty now. You have to accept us as disciples. So Lord enjoys becoming a disciple like that. He's massaging the feet of Vishwamitra, correct? No? Ram and Lakshman would be massaging. And Vishwamitra would get up from his sleep in the night and they'd say, hey, Ram, Lakshman, go to sleep. They would say, okay, but they won't go to sleep. They will massage again. So this way he likes to serve his devotee. Best disciple. Best joy-giving son. He gives joy to everybody, to the cows, to the earth, to Mother Yashoda and all the gopis also. Most brilliant student. 64 days he learned, 64 nights he practiced. Best friend of Arjuna. Like best friend in need is a friend indeed, we say, no? At the crisis hour, Krishna didn't run away. He didn't say, I think you are having a war, bye-bye, I'm going. He was available at the crisis hour, correct? No? In fact, instead of running away, he came towards Arjuna. He said, I will be with you all through 18 days. Best friend. And the best master of the Pandavas. Pandavas were always guided by him. They consulted him in every decision they made. When they were in Kamekavan, Krishna would go there. When they were in Vishakapan, Krishna would go there. So, best reciprocator, you see. He would reciprocate with everybody. See, Kunti is coming there to, give a send-off to Krishna. Krishna doesn't neglect her. And Krishna saw his sister was morose. Everybody is coming to send off and she is sitting with her head down. Who was it? Subhadra, because she had lost her son. Then Krishna cancelled his trip and then he stayed back. Few days to pacify his sister. And then later on he again boarded the chariot. Yudhishthira Maharaj came and said, I am very grief-stricken because the outcome of the war has led to so much loss and everything. Then again Krishna got down, he cancelled his program. So you can see how he reciprocates with everybody. When he went to forest one day in Kamyakuman, he told Draupadi 3 times in the beginning, in the middle, at the end that you will get the kingdom back, all of you Pandavas. And he told Bhima 2 times. Yeah. And he told Arjuna 1 time. And he didn't tell anything about this to Yudhishthira. Why? Because he reciprocates differently. Yudhishthira doesn't care about kingdoms, he didn't tell him anything. Arjuna cares a little bit, he told him once. And Bhima he told twice because Bhima was aggressive and very troubled. And most troubled person is? So 3 times he told, beginning, middle and end. So exactly reciprocates with anybody. Similarly, when Satyabhama's father Satyajit was killed, by Shatadharma, right? So they wanted to burn his body, but she said, no, I want to keep this body in scented oils. But one very important person is not here. Who is that? Krishna. He was out of station that time. He was out of station. She said, until Krishna comes, this body cannot be cremated. We have to wait, she said. They agreed. So they kept it in scented oils. And then the news reached Krishna in his travels that Satyajit has passed away. He could immediately picturize how much grief-stricken Satyabhama must be. He sent a message to Satyabhama that I'm coming back very quickly. Don't worry. So when he reached the palace, he cried so loudly, seeing Satyajit's body. Satyabhama had to pacify him. She said, okay, don't cry, Baba. So he was so emotionally supportive to Satyabhama. He knows that Satyabhama's demands are a little more than anybody else. So he exactly satisfied her. Similarly, when Bhauma became Bhaumasura, correct, no? Earlier Bhauma was good, but later on he became an Asura due to bad association. Then Krishna went to Pragjyotishpur, he wanted to go. But he thought, if I kill him, then our Satyabhama will have objection. Because the Bhudevi has a connection to Satyabhama. From Bhudevi he was born. So Krishna thought, let me take Satyabhama with me. He told her, I am going to heaven to give back the Varuna's umbrella and Aditi's kundal. I am going to take it and go and give it. Would you like to accompany me? She said, why not? So they both boarded the Garuda and then they flew to Pragjyotishpur. They crossed all that moat and electrified wall and everything, and Muradiman was killed. So when there was a war with Bhaumasura was sending volleys of arrows and Krishna was not taking action. Satyabhama said, what are you doing? She said, pick up the arrow, fight. And Krishna said, what I should do? She said, kill him. She said, then he killed her. Why? Because tomorrow if she asks, why did you kill Bhauma? He's my favorite. You will say, you only told me. Therefore, my Guru Maharaj used to always say that if somebody has a strong opinion, don't act against that opinion until you involve them in the discussion. Without involving them in the discussion, you think that I will convince them. If a person convinced against his will is of the same opinion, still it is said. So therefore, we should not try to convince. So Krishna took her into account. How Krishna is emotionally supportive, you can see. His understanding. Like for example, A and B have a problem. And both want to talk to you. You heard from A. And then the B wants to talk to you tomorrow. You may say, no, I already heard the problem. You don't worry. I have come up with a decision. Will B agree? We will say, you know what is the matter, from whose version? You didn't listen to me. That means you are going to favor A, they will say. Correct, no? So that is why many times interpersonal dealings lead to clashes because of this kind of things. But Krishna is very understanding. Best reciprocator. Best king of Dwaraka. Best worshipper of devotees. Rukmini, she took Chamar and she fanned because she thought Krishna will be pleased. If I do this service to this pure devotee, then best protector. See, these princesses were liberated from the jail of Jarasandha. 16,000 of them. So when they were liberated, Krishna thought they will go back to their respective kingdoms. But they were not even budging an inch. He asked, why are you not going? They said, we have been captured and brought by this fellow. So we don't even know whether we'll be accepted by the world. We'll be accepted by our parents. So we are rejected lot, they said. You have nowhere to go. Then Krishna said, then what do you want? They said, you only saved us. So if you wish, if you can marry us, we'll be happy, you marry us. And Krishna said, all right. Immediately, Krishna expanded himself into 16,000 forms. And if a queen was short, then he also became short. The queen was tall, he was also tall. If she was chubby, he was also chubby. Like we say, made for each other. Accordingly, then they were all given a palanquin and they were sent to Dwaraka. And everybody was given one palace. He expanded. Every queen thought he was living only with me, but he had expanded himself into 16,108 forms. And he gave them jewelry, he gave them saris, he kept them very happy. See, these are all personalities who have done millions of lifetimes of Bhakti Sukriti. And now they got to be a wife of Krishna. So he's the best protector. The best husbands is Patranis, 5 of them. Yeah. The best schoolman. Imagine having Krishna in your own class as one of your classmates. Think about it. How happy Sudama must be, isn't it? Studying with him. Yeah. Always joy giving, always joyful and giving joy to his devotees. Best known for his simplicity. Yeah. Master of communication, isn't it? I was thinking if I was in the battle of Kurukshetra, if Arjuna put his bow down and said, Nayotsya, iti govindam, utva tushnim babuvaha, he says, I am not going to fight. Then I was thinking what I would have done. Arjuna, you are not going to fight? What is your crying? You're a coward. Okay, I will call somebody and say, please take him. Take him and put him to, let him go and relax. Then I would take the bow and arrow. Okay, let me manage the battle. Is it not true? That's the easiest thing we may do. But you can see Arjuna was so patient. Krishna was so patient. He spoke the 18 chapters of the Gita. And then finally Krishna asked him, Kachchideta chudam partha tvaya ekagrena chetasa Kashchida jnana sammoha pranashtaste Dhananjaya. He's asking, hey Dhananjaya, did you hear me very attentively? You're keeping chup-chap, you're silent. Samajh mein aaya ki nahi? You understood or not? Did you hear me attentively? Kashchideta chudam partha tvaya ekagrena. Did you hear me with ekagrachita? Is your ajnana and moha went gone or how is it? Imagine at that time Arjuna said, either I didn't understand or I will not fight. I asked my senior, Shamanpu, if Arjuna did not agree to fight, what Krishna would have done? At that time I asked. He said, once more he must have spoken. More understandable way, with more examples and stories, he must have spoken. Correct. He was ready for it. So are we so patient in raising our children? Think about it. Are we so patient in raising our mentees? I really wonder. We have to learn from Krishna the kind of patience he had. And third chapter, Krishna convinced him. 5th chapter again he asked, Vyamesheneva vakyenam buddhim mohayasi vame tadekam padanishchitya. Tell me to go to forest or tell me to fight. Don't tell me that to fight also and be a spiritual man also. Arjuna was getting confused. So the ocean of knowledge is the Bhavaduka. He can speak a vast amount of knowledge in a very brief way. Truth spoken concisely. It's called eloquence. So in this way, he's a fully blossomed Purna Purushottam. Solat Kala Sampurna, we call it. So, and then here, last part, I conclude with this. See this quality in this is Sripad Ramanujacharya has taken these qualities from the Vishnu Purana, Padma Purana, and everything put together. He says, Svabhavikana Vadikatishaya Jnana Bala Aishwarya Virya Shakti Teja Saushilya Vatsalya Mardava Ardava Sauharda Samya Karunya Madhurya Gambhirya Audarya Chaturya Stairya Dairya Shaurya Parakrama Satyakama Satya Sankalpa Krititva Kritanyatadya Sankhyeya Kalyana Guna Gauna Maharanavam Parabrahmabhutam Purushottamam Sriranga Shainam Asmata Swaminam. He's saying. So it's here he is giving the list of the qualities of the Lord. Outpouring, yeah. So all this beginning, especially we can see the qualities beginning with, the first 6 which are given, Jnana Bala Aishwarya Virya Shakti Teja, 6 opulence of Krishna, and then start Saushilya. Vatsalya, Mardava. Mardava means, the Lord cannot be separated from his devotees, he feels great pain. And Arjava means his simplicity, and then Sauharda, Samya. So each of these qualities, there are innumerable pastimes. So these, Vinod Thakur says that these qualities should be explained in the talks between the devotees. The qualities of the Lord, his behavior, his dealing with devotees, sweetness in dealing with devotees. Beginning with greatness and then go to the sweetness. So when we do this, Jnana, Bala, Aishwarya, all these different qualities. Virya means performing all actions without getting tired as if they are entertainment. Because aklama. Aklama means our Lord doesn't get tired. A person who moves with all and sundry, with enough vigor to resist vices, with ample virility to inject his own virtues into them. Which means, when Krishna, he will never get contaminated. He will make the other, even the most impure things, he makes them purified. Like Putana, he drank her milk. When Nanda Baba was returning back, he saw Putana's body was being burned. But the smell which was coming was like aguru smell, isn't it? He was wondering, what is this? Sutavaloka, our Bali Maharaj is doing some yajna, he was thinking. Such nice smell is coming. But the smell was coming from whose body? Putana's body. And why it came? Because of Krishna's lip touch, that's all. By the two lips, you can see the whole body became such a fragrant. So, which means he ample virility. He has ample virility to inject his own virtues into them. Even to the impure people, he is able to overpower them by his purity. Unlike getting contaminated himself, you see. Shakti has impossible tasks he can do. So, Saushilya. Actually, Saushilya of Rama is greater than Vishnu. And Saushilya of Krishna is greater than Rama. Saushilya means a great person, not belittling low people, but mixing with them in a friendly mode. See, Rama will only mix with the leaders. Leader of the boatmen is Guha. Leader of the Vanaras is Sugriva. Leader of Rakshasas is Vibhishan. Whereas Krishna will mix with even the monkeys and peacocks also. No? He can come down to their level also. No? Yeah. So Krishna's Saushilita is uncomparable. The inability to tolerate separation from his devotees. Keeping his promise, truthfulness. She said, Kunti said, sun may become cool, moon may become hot, but you never go back in your words. She said, treating all devotees equally, even like Shabari. So in this way, so I had made this. See, Madhuri is an interesting thing. Lord's beauty, his qualities, appreciated by those even whom he goes to kill also. When they see him beautiful. How beautifully he is lifting wheel and coming to attack me. Isn't it? See, this one of Radhavan Maharaj, in one lecture he was telling, one wife was kicking her husband on the head. And the husband was telling his wife, oh, my dear good wife, your feet are so soft, my sharp hair is going to pierce your feet. I am afraid. Either he said. So Maharaj said it is due to his attachment to his wife. Maharaj was telling. So because the Lord's devotees love him so much, even when he goes to attack his devotee Bhishma, he is seeing him lovingly. This is actually on the spiritual note, how he is attached. So that attachment to perverted reflection is this man telling his wife that, when you kick me, even your kicking is beautiful. Whereas, this is a perverted reflection, isn't it? Yeah. And Maharaj speaks very anayas, very coolly speaks. He was quoting from Kalidas. So in this way, see, Sarva Bhota Hitam. Okay, thank you. So, even thank you is dancing in ecstasy. After hearing the qualities of the Lord. So, when we hear the qualities of the Lord, we can forget the material world. Yeah. Now I have 9:10, I have to go for another lecture. I'm sorry. I couldn't leave time for discussion, but he is there. We have a very great soul here and we can discuss it. If you all have time, afternoon we can discuss. I will go to my room. I have a 9:10 to 9:30, I have a talk. Go for it. Okay? You come here. because I'm a too loud talker. I've been speaking continuously. Now you should talk. Huh?
I think Prabhuji, some of them may have to go to work.
Is it?
Today is Friday.
Those who have time, you can have some question answers with Amarendra Prabhu. Anybody want to ask him questions? You can come here. Just come. Sit.
I'll start it.